All right. What's up, everybody? Oh, I decided to do it live mainly because I forgot I had a meeting today. And so it affected my schedule a little bit. So I'm saying just do it live. This is your first time tuning in. Obvies, check the show notes, sign up for So Rare because that is what we're talking about today. If you sign up using the link below, it's in the show notes. You get 20 free common cards. You buy 5 things off of the auctions. You get a 6 one free. Makes us look awesome. So go ahead and do that. What we're going to be doing today, game week 24, baby. We've got a couple of like questionable injury things that are going to really affect the week, which is going to be a pain in the butt when we get to live before lock, which is tonight at 5:30. Our man TST is going to be joining us. That's always a very fun show, so please come check that out. Let me make sure I've hit the rest of the business things. As always, we'll be using Momentum Labs projections to get in there to figure out what the hell we're going to do. Yeah, I think that's it. One of the things that is a little bit tricky about today, like to cover some of the injury news, Joel Embiid, we don't really know what the situation is going to be with him. It sounds like he's going to miss another game. We don't know for how long. They said there was no timetable for his return, but then he was like, yeah, but it's not that bad. So I don't really know what that means. Kevin Durant obviously went down last night, which means Kyrie is going to project through the moon, means Ben Simmons is probably going to have to do a little bit more, probably a good TJ Warren week. But again, we don't know what that injury is. Ja Morant is questionable. He missed yesterday's game, but it seemed more like a rest day based on what they were saying. So I don't know. I don't know really what's going to happen. Tom, what's up? Tom in the chat says, appreciate all your advice. Back-to-back rewards unlimited in my first rare this time. Let's go, Tom. That's huge, man. I send some of that my way, man. Shout out Usher, by the way, my way. I was pretty dog poop today. I got a limited tier 4 and a limited tier 5, I think. Bag your first rare reward. Let's go. 5 more points from Zubac would have landed me a top 10 in contender. Damn. Yeah, Zubac was crushing, right? He had like 17 points and 18 boards last night, and then but didn't really play the fourth quarter. He was a menace, though. I think he had like a double-double in the first half. All right, enough of that. Let's take a look at game week 24. I can't believe we're 24 game weeks into this already. Before we get truly cooking, let's just double check the contest, right? So we get the 3 commons, the contender, the champ, and the vet. Obviously spend more time on the champ. Limited contender. It looked like we almost hit 10K in the last one. I think it was like 9,800. So curious to see what happens this time. But 2,300 rewards given out. So roughly like 23% cash in the contender. Champion, again, 1K of the limited tiers, 150 of the rare tiers, the limited under 23, only 100. So only 100 cash. And then the rare contender, 695, rare champ, 285, and 10 super rares. And then there's the super rare contender, champ, and unique. So there we go. Are the rewards out? No, I don't think so. Not yet. AJ saying finish 22 in rare contender. Yeah, man, that was a great call. Great call from there. All right, one more question, and then we're going to dive into the spread sheets. Rama says, would you take the $5 profit on Alvarado since he ain't playing for me this game week? Totally up to you, man. It's hard to tell you how to manage a gallery when it comes to that type of stuff. I mean, Alvarado's I think I would wait if you're like not interested in playing Alvarado. I think I would wait until like maybe CJ misses a game and then all of a sudden Alvarado pumps. The other thing you could do, I mean, if you have somebody else you're eyeing and you need the $5 profit, you could absolutely flip it. That's totally up to you though. All right, let's do it. Let's live. It's not live before lock. It is value hunting. So that means we're going to be spending our time with the low cap guys, 20 and under. We're going to see who pops the most. As always, though, as we do this, like so much is going to depend until injury news comes, right? So we need the injury news before we really do anything with this. But let's just see right now who's popping. All right, so off the bat here, we're seeing Bol, who, I'm sorry, not Bol. Malik Monk, who is off the injury report. The Kings have 2 games this week. Malik Monk, in my opinion, like, yeah, his cap is around his ceiling. Like, I don't really see him going for 40 with the Kangs being healthy. I am interested in TJ Warren, though. TJ Warren is a cap of 20, the projection of 22. Again, we're waiting until we get that KD news. So, I don't know. I think TJ Warren has like a ton of upside if he gets leaned on a little bit more. He's been kind of turning into the 6th man for the the Nets, but I don't even know who would get more run. Is it Markieff Morris? Maybe right? Is it Markieff's on the team. Is it Markieff Morris that gets more run? It's not like Seth Curry is a plug-in. I don't think Cam Thomas can plug in for KD. Those are smaller guys, right? So it's got to be bigger. Did they already announced that he's out 2 weeks, or are you planting your flag and saying it's 2 weeks? So if that's the case, I mean, the other thing, maybe Ben Simmons takes a more dominant role, but God, I really like Ben Simmons when his cap is between like 20 and 25. But if he's required to do offensive things for a team's success, that bums me out. Yeah, maybe Tom, that's a good call. Maybe it's Utah. Maybe it's Utah season. I hope so, since I own one of his cards. So I think what we should do, though, you want to get galaxy brain here. Start thinking about game week 25. If it's 25, if you're thinking about game week 25, similar to what we did when Zion missed his first game, we got to pay attention to the Nets rotations this next couple of games. I forget how many games they have. What does it say? One. So they only have one game. So we have to pay attention to their rotation so we can plan for this weekend. Because if we see, hey, all of a sudden TJ Warren plays like 32 minutes or Utah gets cooking, I would argue, though, that part of Utah's success is when KD's out there, because he's just getting wide open corner threes. But who knows? So we got to pay attention to that one game. That situation is going to be pretty high risk, high reward for game week 24. All right, let's see what else we got. Royce O'Neal. Okay, he's popping. We just talked about him. Jayshawn Tate, I want to mention. So Jayshawn Tate, I think, played 18 minutes in this game against the Rockets. For the Rockets this weekend. One thing that I noticed, though, is they're using Jayshawn Derulo Tate a little bit differently. He has been playing backup point guard minutes almost. So when he's out there in that second unit, he's kind of been facilitating the offense. That's not what I anticipated them doing. Before, he was playing like a smaller Ben Simmons, right? He didn't shoot much, put him in the dunker spot, very aggressive around the rim, would get like offensive rebounds here and there. But I did not expect them to start using him as like this, I don't know, small forward point guard. So I kind of like Jayshawn Tate. His cap's a little bit higher than I want it to be at 19. I'd rather that be in like the 15 range. But the Rockets suck, and they need anything to, just change the vibe in there. So he might be a better play in like 2 weeks. But I just would pay attention to Jayshawn Tate, because if he's all of a sudden going to be facilitating offense and like picking up assists, because I think he had like 2 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in limited minutes. But if that's the stat line, instead of before, it'd be like 10 points and 6 boards, that he wasn't getting a lot of assists. But if he's facilitating offense, I really like Jayshawn Tate in the future. All right, let's keep moving. Anything else? Grant Williams, whatever. Kenyon Smith Jr., whatever. Isaiah Joe for the Thunder. I don't love that. All right, here we go. Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann's cap has come way back down to 16. Paul George is nursing that old hammy. So if Paul George is going to miss some more time, and then who knows, maybe Kawhi does a Kawhi thing where he's like, load management, then Terrence Mann obviously becomes a really good play. You're seeing Seth Curry project pretty well. You're seeing Jose Alvarado project pretty well. No smashes. I want to talk Mark Williams a little bit more too. Mark Williams he's probably my favorite buy for like, not this week, but for the future again. He just is bouncy, man. That dude looks really good. He accumulates a lot of stats in like 16 to 18 minutes. He's been getting like 8.7 rebounds and a couple of blocks in like no time. At some point, they're going to, maybe it's after the All-Star break, they just cut Mark Williams loose. I know his price is a little inflated, so maybe wait till nobody plays him, but I'm a big fan of Maki Mak and the Funky Bunch. Eric Gordon, I'm not loving that. Santi Aldama, whatever. Nobody's really, really popping down here. Terrence Mann, Seth Curry are the two guys for this week that I like the most in that 16 range. We get down to the 15, Nembhard. Nembhard's cap's coming down. He's still starting and playing a lot of minutes. I think that's fine. Romeo Langford, the Spurs situation, we probably need some more Keldon Big Body Johnson, but if they're going to be missing Keldon and what's his name? Keldon and Devin Vassell for an extended period of time, dudes like that are going to have to step up. Corey Kispert is projecting fine. I don't love Corey Kispert, but that's just me. Troy Brown Jr., they get 2 games this week. If he misses, I like Juan Toscano Anderson again. But if he's back, he's probably a solid play with only a cap of 14. Haywood Highsmith of the Miami, bro. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Damian Lee, TJ McConnell. Nah. Cap of 12. We get down to the ish. Oh, no, that's Torian Prince. Excuse me. Torian Prince, who's back now. I think his first game back. Shut up, Borland. I think his first game back was this weekend. Orlando Robinson is going to be pumping because Bam Adebayo should miss a game or two. I don't think it's anything serious, but I imagine he misses some time. He left the game early last night after throwing it down on Joey Harris. So I think that's fine. Orlando Robinson's been pretty productive in the limited minutes that he has had. So Joey Ingles, he's back in action. The Bucks have 3 games this week. I imagine he only plays in 2 of them. Maybe he gets some extended minutes though. So jumping Joe Ingles still is a cap of 11. I feel like he can flash some upside while also not really burning you. Dwayne Dedman, for the same reason that Orlando Robinson was pumping, is projecting pretty well. Davion Mitchell, Gabe Vincent, Usman Garuba. Honestly, Joe Ingles is my favorite of this cap right here. Now we're getting to the juicy stuff, 10 and under. Isaiah Hartenstein, his cap is all the way down to 10. I don't love it. I think you can do better down here. Devontae Graham, all those Pellies are fine, but nothing too exciting. Jaden Hardy there with a cap of 9, projection of 15. So Hardy's been starting to get a few more minutes now. I know he played really well yesterday with no Luka magic. I'm assuming Luka's back, so that upside is limited a little bit. But hey, if they do the same thing for Spencer Dinwiddie that they did for Luka and give him a day off, and Hardy then continues to get an expanded role, I'm fine with Jaden Hardy. His cap has come up from, what was it, 4 or 5 to now 9, but still is a projection of 15. His price is probably a little bit inflated, so I'd pay attention to that. Then you get Jalen Williams from OKC is fine. Miles McBride, I don't love as much. Rudy Gay, I'm never playing. Kendrick Nunn had his one good game of the year. That's it. I'm done. I'm not playing. If you missed the Kendrick Nunn game, I'm sorry you missed it. I can't imagine a world in which you're like, you know what? Kendrick Nunn, lock and load. No, thank you. Yeah, we're going to get to him. Abaji's been playing really well. He's been getting some more minutes. I like that. All right. Zeke Naji still projecting fine. I think you can find a better spot unless guys are going to miss games. Davis Bertans, I'm not playing. Here we go. Jabari Walker's going to cap 6, projection 11. Depends. Like, I'm more excited about Jabari Walker if somebody misses. I feel like the Blazers have been questionable for 2 weeks now. But I think Jabari Walker is fine. And then you might luck into, maybe you luck box into somebody sitting and he pops. Same thing. Basically, all of these guys, Luke Cornett, Juan Toscano Anderson, all like the same thing. JTA, I do like quite a bit as a play if Troy Brown Jr. misses. Now we get to the cap of 5. This is probably my favorite. Agbaji right here. I mean, like, he got a few extra minutes, and has been very, like, what did I say? He scored 21 points in 19 minutes or 19 points in 21 minutes. It was one or the other. Had a really productive game. The Utah Jazz are about to be in selling mode, right? So Kelly Olynyk, he's gone. Probably Malik Beasley. I don't know. I think we're going to see more of Walker Kessler Ranger. We're going to see more of Abaji. I think both of those guys are pretty good plays. Yeah, he didn't miss a shot. Ran hot, but I think he's going to get more time. Under here, we get Peyton Pritchard, who's projecting well, and Casey Okpala, I'm not playing. Pritchard is interesting. This is what I would say. Like, if you need a punt play for 4, I think Peyton's fine because Marcus Smart's missing the game tonight. I did want to pull up Brogdon, who I know is going to cap at 23 and a projection of 25. I feel like that has a pretty decent ceiling with no Marcus Smart. I also think Derek White, same thing. So both those guys right there, caps at 23, projection of 25. I think both of those guys have a 35 spot in them. Maybe not, well, not both in the same game, but I think they could run hot. All right, let me catch up on the chat here. Yeah, Celtics have 3 games this week too. Yeah, so if Marcus misses some time, I also think you could luck box into some bigs in there, right? So I don't think they play Al Horford all of those games, so maybe Blake Griffin gets some run. That's why the Green Cornet was getting some boost. I also think we get some more Robert Williams love this week. No Tillman projection. Why is somebody missing from? Who's missing from the Xavier Tillman is not projecting right now. Isn't he out of the rotation? Am I wrong with that, Chris? I thought he was out of the rotation. Rudy Gay. I mean, listen, Andrea, if you Rudy Gay is fine. Rudy Gay really is fine. He's projecting well. He's probably going to get some minutes there. He's going to cap a 9, projection of 11. So, like, if that's what you have, I think that's fine. If you're looking at this and being like, oh, I need to go buy Rudy Gay, I would not do that. All right, gang. I'm gonna stay for like 3 or 4 more minutes. Though that is our like as we recap. Pump in some questions though. As we recap, I think you can do pretty well here in this 4 to 6 range. I think Jabari Walker, Cornette, JTA, all high risk but high reward. Same thing with Pritchard, Peyton Pritchard, and Agbaji as well. I think those are really nice down there. When we get a little bit higher, I'm not touching Kendrick Nunn, but do what you will. Jaden Hardy at 9 is pretty solid. And then I don't really love this range. If you have Orlando Robinson and Bam misses time, let it rip. The 15, like Nembhard and Langford are fine, but I think I want to go super cheap, or I want to do more of a balanced build with somebody like Terrence Mann, someone like Mark Williams, or even like a TJ Warren, Royce O'Neal, and Jayshon Derulo Tate. Those are the guys that I was going for. He started for Adams last night and got minutes. So the Adams was an illness, not an injury, though, right? So that would be dictated on Steven Adams' health. So if Adams is better, though, from the missed time, from the cold that he has, then Tillman goes back to out of the rotation. So I think that's one of those things like, hey, if you have Xavier Tillman already, hang on to it. And then as we get closer to live before lock, if we find out that someone's going to miss some time, you can fire away. Yeah, fire in some more questions. I'll hang for a couple more minutes. I'm also going to say, just mentioning live before lock, we'll be back at 5:30 with our man TST, breaking down all that injury news. All right. City says, I got Alvarado, Paulo Banchero, Scary Terry, Johnny Collins, and Troy Brown Jr. So City, as long as Troy Brown's playing, that's the thing, right? If Troy Brown is questionable, how many? The Lakers only have one game, right? Or no, they have two. So, and one of them is, so they got 2 games. Listen, if that's your best play and let it rip. I think Troy Brown is fine. Hopefully we get that news before ahead of time. Roma, you're already thinking of game week 25, my man. I love it. Duarte right now is projecting well. No, he's got a cap of 8, projection of 7. So you would need, in my opinion, someone to sit for the Indiana Pacers. You would need like someone taking a break. I know they like Duarte. They've been giving him a little bit more run, but Felix, what's your thoughts on Peyton? Yeah, I was just talking about them. They have 3 games, right? So there's, maybe you get lucky. They don't want to play Brogdon three games in 4 nights, right? Maybe they're like, hey, listen, Brogdon, shout out John W., but Brogdon likes to get hurt. And if the thing is, we don't know if Marcus Smart is missing all of the games, right? So you gotta project a little bit. If you think Marcus Smart's out this whole week, right? There's no way Brogdon plays all 3 games. I'd fire in Peyton Pritchard. Because even if it's just tonight, even if it's just tonight, Pritchard's going to be a fine play, but he's a much, much better play if Brogdon sits one of those games. Dion says Giannis 3 games or Jokic 2 games. Man, the good news is, Dion, either way, you're playing Giannis or Jokic. My guess is Giannis plays 2 of those 3 games. So you're probably getting 2 games from both of them. I think I would just take Giannis here. Jokic is probably going to give you 28, 12, and 12. Giannis is probably going to get you one of those games 50 and 20. So totally up to you. We talked about Peyton Pritchard. D'Lo says, hadn't realized Cornet's cap dropped so much, so might play him. Yeah, and they won't play Robert Williams all 3 games. They won't play Al Horford all 3 games. So the Green Cornet's going to be loose. So I think that's fine. I think that's a fine one. Good call. Good call with the Green Cornet. All right, dudes. I think we'll call it there. We got a little 20-minute. I hope you enjoyed this being live. You can shout out the meeting that I forgot about that made it a live one. We will be back 5:30 Eastern, live before lock right here. We'll give away another limited tier unless we hit that 200 mark, and then it'll be a rare tier card. As always, if you watch this whole thing without signing up for So Rare, you're bonkers. Do me a favor. Drop a comment right after this video ends. Put a comment in. Tell me who your favorite player is. And then we'll yeah, I don't know. Just do that. Is there anything else I'm missing? Someone said Sam. Oh, dude, Luca. I didn't think about Sammy and How's it, kid. Let me check How's it. Is he dropping 3s from dunks, dude? Is he not projecting? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, there it is. All right, he's got a cap of 10 and a projection of 9. There you go. But maybe, Luca, if you think you can bump that projection up, if you think he's going to get a little bit more run. Thank you, Andrew. Common rewards are already searchable. Here you go. We'd love to see it. All right, everybody. Best of luck out there building your lineups. Don't spend too much money today unless you have signed up using our